Hey everyone, Mike Doloff, Chief Revenue Officer, Inflow Communications. Glad to be talking with you today. Doing one of my favorite things, which is talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of our everyday customer experiences. And got a special guest with me today. So I've got Corey Weitzman. Corey, introduce yourself and say hi.
Mike, hello, and hello everybody. Glad to be here with you, Mike and Brendan. Thanks so much for inviting me. Been keeping up with the good, bad, and ugly segments, and been very, very fun to watch. So super excited to be a part of this one. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Well, I'm excited because you've got an experience, and I'm not going to give a spoiler here on if it's good, bad, or ugly. So you're going to have to let everybody hear it, Corey. But I'll tell you what, the Corey gets to go out, spend time on a lake, camping. Sounds wonderful. That's like one of my favorite things, make good memories, right? Well, we're going to break down this customer experience that Corey had after he tells his story that just happened recently. So Corey, take it away, man.
Sure, thanks, Mike. And yeah, good, bad, and ugly kind of lets you guys be the determination of how that went. My experience and what you're about to hear, probably I'm more on the ugly side, but definitely something I've learned from. And, we'll just jump right in and let you know about my experience here. So just last week, had a guys trip planned with a lot of my buddies here that we were going up to Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Beautiful destination, about three and a half hours north of Dallas area. So, all hopped in our cars, drove up there, 16 of us driving out to rent a cabin that we had booked actually 2 months in advance. Very popular destination, as I mentioned. So you really got to get in there on time to make sure you lock down where you want to stay. So we had this beautiful cabin set up for us. Slept 22 people. Had its own saloon built in, really cool outdoor area, its own fishing pond. Super excited to get towards the weekend. So we made sure we did our due diligence and planned properly. So as we were driving up there, we're planning other things, getting our off-roading planned. We played a little golf up there as well. So just really, really excited about the weekend. Really was looking forward to having a great, relaxed time and enjoying ourselves. So upon arrival, though, we pull up to the cabin that we had rented. Again, 22 sleeps 22. We had 16, so we're going to have plenty of room for the weekend, and super excited. So we get there. We see a couple construction workers that are doing some work on the house. So pull up and go talk to the guys. Kind of, what's going on, guys? You guys doing a little work here from cleanup from the previous folks who rented this? And they're like, oh no. We're actually doing a 20 list punch down or a punch down list with 20 different items that they had to finish before the weekend because they had actually sold that cabin. So we're just finding this out upon arrival. So, we called the management company, tried to see what's going on. Weren't getting any answers. We emailed them. Nobody got back to us. Luckily, the construction guys actually knew somebody who was at the management company. So they got us in contact. We chatted with them, trying to figure out what's going on. They asked we come up to their offices, which were right up the street. So we did. We drove up there, trying to figure out, and resolve the issue of what's going on, because where's our cabin at? We got 16 guys driving up here from Dallas. They'll all be here very soon, and we have nowhere to accommodate them. So what do we do? Upon getting there, we spoke with some folks that were at the management company and the manager there, and really there was just a lack of sympathy. We got no apology from anybody. They seemed kind of annoyed that we were even there trying to fix the situation. Like it was really weird. You would think that people would, when there's a mess up, that they would kind of go over and beyond to make sure they make up for that, especially with the size of group we had and the amount of money we had spent to lock down the cabin that we had wanted. So didn't really get the warm and fuzzies from them, didn't get a lot of sympathy from them. They were able to accommodate us and find another cabin that we could stay in for the weekend. It didn't sleep 16, so we were a little short. We had to do some pull outs, and folks had to sleep on the couch there. So really wasn't the ideal scenario for what we thought we were getting into when we got there. So yeah, they were able to accommodate us and get us into another cabin, but definitely not something that we were expecting, not what we were hoping for. And really the fact that we kind of got the cold shoulder from the management company, it just to us, we just really weren't happy about the whole situation, but what else were we going to do? So we went ahead and got that cabin and, squeezed in there for the weekend. During the weekend, we're trying to work with the management company as well to look at a reimbursement, because obviously the place that we got, it didn't cost as much as the place we wanted. And as far as I was concerned, we shouldn't have paid for, you know, the cabin that we didn't want anyway. So we were fighting with them all weekend on reimbursement and how we do this. And it's just, it was a struggle. And to me, I think, you know, that company in that situation really should have stepped up to the plate. Not only accommodating us, which they did, but, you know, let's show some sympathy. Say, I'm sorry. Give me something. Like I said, they just kind of it felt to me like they were a little annoyed we were even there trying to fix the situation. So not a great experience from a customer standpoint. It really kind of felt like they were making it our problem and not theirs, and not, you know, trying to do really much at all to accommodate or, you know, fight towards the reimbursement. It was just like, here's your place, get out of our office. And that's kind of how we felt leaving there. Is just like, man, not written here again, not going through this company again, because we all have families, obviously, and we all love going to Broken Bow. So that's 16 families probably that management company will not be getting business from anymore. So that's kind of my experience. That's what happened. It's unfortunate, but again, you live and you learn. And I think we learned a lesson, and next time we go, we'll find somebody else.
That's ugly, man. I like it. I know that it's still, the wound is fresh, so I shouldn't smile. I won't smile. Sorry. Man, that's brutal though. So let's break this down. I think Corey, you did a good job telling the story in the details of it. Let's break down what we got here, what we can pull out of this from the lessons learned on what made this truly an ugly experience. I like our graphics here too. So rented the Taj Mahal cabin, got the the shack in the woods. Probably wasn't that dramatic, but I like the dramatic effect of our graphics. Nicely done, Brendan. So the cabin rental, let's break down the first thing. So part one of what made this a really ugly experience, it's something so common and so easy: communication, a total lack of communication. So you're telling me 16 guys from Dallas booked the place 2 months in advance, and nobody thought to tell them that the house during that time frame got sold? Where was the communication to the customer through that process? That would have been a bummer if things had to adjust a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, or whatever, but people are more understanding of that. Certainly just complete lack of communication, totally unacceptable. So obviously there's a breakdown here from company to customer. There's also internally a breakdown. How on earth did a property decide to be sold, get sold, and internally there's no controls or process to do that, right? Big communication problem here. Big problem between customer and also internally. And that's at a root of a lot of these ugly customer experiences that we have. So that's point one. Point two, I think Corey, you hit this nicely too. Just complete lack of empathy and responsibility. We all have bad experiences. We also have bad experiences though where people can listen to us. Empathy, a huge part of that's listening, right? Listening and feeling like there's a care, there's some responsibility to help take over this problem. In this case, this was not Corey and his friend's problem, right? This was not made by them. And so there's an expectation that the property management company here would step up, take responsibility, and help. Ultimately, somewhat helped, but did they feel like they're going above and beyond for that? Did they feel like they really understood the plight that these guys were in and wanted to help them? No, and that goes that's just speaking to sort of the emotional side of us, right? We want to feel like we're being listened to and understood, and that somebody kind of puts the arm around us and says, hey, we'll take care of you, you'll be all right. And so that little touch, and that's again kind of that agent or human to human part of this, that can go towards making this a decent experience or maybe even a good experience, or a really ugly one if it's lacking. In this case, the latter. And then the last point is, okay, let's just say none of these other things speak to why a company should really look at their customer experience. Well, guess what? It'll hit this company where it really hurts, which is in their wallet, right? I mean, in the finances, right? This is 16 people that have people in their immediate family and people in their extended family, and they're all going to go back and tell this story, right? And they certainly won't recommend anybody use this company. Are they going to go back there and spend money in that community and with that place? Absolutely. Will they do it with this company? Nope. So you think of the economic impact of sort of the lack of effort in this customer experience is dramatic, is big. And we all know this too, right? We like to focus on the negative side of it we try to balance that out on our good, bad, and ugly series and talk about good ones as well. But human-wise, we like to focus often on the negative side. And guess what? We're a lot more likely to share a negative experience and evangelize that experience of don't buy this product, don't buy this service, don't use this company, than we are the positive. And so now you've got all these other people out there who say, hey, this company's no good. This is how they treated us. And the economic impact of that is significant, right? Over 1 year, over 10 years, over multiple families and multiple generations of families probably, right? Who go, hey, this was a part of our experience of going and staying in this area. And they don't do it with a particular company now because that's not part of their experience or because they had that negative experience. So it's pretty significant if you think of that cascade effect. And if there's no other reason, and this shouldn't be the only motivator for companies, but if for no other reason, just looking at the financial impact should be enough of a motivator to say, we need to do this right. We need to improve these areas. So Corey, I want to thank you for sharing that story. It sucks that it turned out that way, but sounds like, I'm sure with your friends, you probably make it memorable. It'll be one of those experiences over time that becomes something that becomes a little funnier than painful. And right now it's probably still in the painful stage and that sucked. But we appreciate you sharing it, man. Thanks for joining us. Thanks everyone else for tuning in. We certainly would love to hear and break down your customer experiences so we can see the components that make them good, bad, and ugly. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.